Hi.
Wait, you were telling a great story before we started rolling.
I was telling a story about
Your BFFs from Grown Ups 2.
My BFFs from Grown Ups 2,
Yes.
yeah. Because I know you know David Spade, and I was just texting him earlier.
Is there a female in LA that doesn't know David Spade? Sorry, David, just kidding.
If
Love
not,
you.
they should, because he's a very charming individual.
He is so charming.
Yeah, but it was great. David and myself and Rock, we all went to a Aerosmith
That's
concert
Chris
together.
Rock for all you people that don't,
Yeah.
aren't like this with him.
And we went to an Aerosmith concert together, and Steven Tyler stops the concert to announce that we were all there, and it was one of the most incredible experiences of my life.
How many people were in this? Was it like 50,000?
There had to be maybe 50,000 people.
Wait, I think I was at that concert. I think I remember this now. So when you go to a concert, what is your like? Do you dance? Because I feel like it's like an awkward thing when you're watching a concert. Like, do you dance? Do you not dance?
Oh, I mean, if you're sitting behind me at a concert, it is going to be the worst
tall.
seats in the house because I'm literally jumping around, going crazy.
You're that guy that everybody else has to stand up behind you.
Exactly.
Especially when you're in the front row with.
And they're like, "Can you please stop? If you're going to do that, do you have to sit in the front row?" I'm like,
really?
Sorry.
You're that guy. I love it. Okay, so the last time you were here was for the Hunger Games.
Yeah, that little indie I did.
That little tiny movie that nobody ever saw. But it's funny because now you're doing Vikings, and they're both physical roles, like sort of savage fighting, that kind of thing. How is sort of the style different, like when you're prepping for it?
Well, I'm definitely not playing as much of an asshole as I was in Hunger Games.
But you're a Viking.
But yeah, it is it's an incredible role to be a part of, and I'm so happy to be a part of it amongst such incredibly talented actors. The role is, it's definitely a physical role. The reason I was so attracted to the role in the first place was, the violence and the action is just a byproduct of how they lived. But it's really an intelligent show. And our writer, Michael Hurst, really made it about the characters, and it's very character driven. And I play a good guy in this one, which is great because I want people to see that side to me. And ultimately, down the road, that's exactly the kind of characters I want to play.
And that you can dance.
Genuinely good people. Exactly. And then I can dance, which, by the way, my sister taught me how to do that dance.
I know, I heard this. So your sister got you this role.
Literally, I owe it to my...
How old is she?
My little sister, Sophia Ludwig, is 13 years old.
Yeah.
14 now.
Yeah.
And she taught me the Napoleon Dynamite dance when I read for Peter Berg. You want me to get up and do it?
Let's get up.
This is how we work. So you walk back and you hold your hands like this, just like snap a little bit. And then you gotta do this teapot thing. This is about as far as I know. And then you gotta go like this and shake your hips. And obviously when you're doing a Navy SEAL movie, this is exactly what you want all the Navy SEAls to see.
Exactly. We were gonna sign up for Navy SEAL movies that we were gonna do.
Yeah, so it's perfect.
Okay, before you sit down, I'm gonna call you out. You have a Miley Cyrus haircut at some point in this show.
I was just be a little particular about my hair, and it was like, cut it all off. Let's just see how I can deal with it. And it was great. It really helps you get into character when you see her.
Who knew that the Vikings were ahead of their time? Because Miley Cyrus is copying them hundreds of years later.
Really, I take credit for that haircut.
You're taking credit
I think
for that.
Miley Cyrus kind of stole it from me, but.
So how do you get your Viking on? Tell me, getting into the mindset of a Viking.
It's very much like a schoolyard brawl. It's not glamorized. It's not
beastly.
Hollywood.
I just think of it being just wild and beastly.
Yeah. So you basically train and you practice, weeks in advance, and you come up with these extravagant kind of stuff. But by the time you're there, it's just a shit show, and you just have to make the most of it. And you got, 30 people coming. That's basically how you do it. And you're basically just trying to dodge and not get hit.
Do you take any hits by accident?
Oh, all the time.
I'm sure, because those brawls are just I saw, from the show. It's just these massive amounts of people just going hog wild.
If you don't come out with a cut or two, then you're not doing your job.
Then you absolutely haven't done your job.
Exactly.
I think you have a romance. Do you have a situation?
Yeah.
Have you done love scenes before?
I have, yeah.
You have. I have.
No. Not
I do all the time.
Yeah. No.
Yeah, I wrote the book on that. Are you a romantic guy in real? I picture you being a very romantic person.
I think I'm a bit of a romantic. Yeah, I love all that stuff.
What's the nerdiest, corniest? Even when you were younger, did you do anything really special for a girl?
I think I might have done some really weird stuff with my teachers, probably.
Wait, what? You had crushes on your teachers?
I might have done some giving roses to my teachers that I had big crushes on and stuff.
Oh, you went for the older woman.
Always for the older women.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So all the women out there that are over 21
or in their 70s,
you got a shot. You might have a shot. Yeah. So wait, we have a guitar here. Because you're a musician. I know did you write a song or you did something with, is it Tidy? The
DJ, we wanted to work together for a while, and we were recording something together, but we never released it yet because it's just been hectic with it. He's been traveling and I've been, working. One thing I found recently is that if you really want to be great at something, you have to focus at one thing at a time. And if I had to go tour and I had to go, act, it would have just been a nightmare.
So go ahead. I mean, so what are you gonna play? I mean, what do you?
Well, I didn't even know I was playing. First of all,
We like putting people on the spot here.
I can like do like a little something.
Sure. Whatever you got.
That's something I learned in New Orleans. That's about it.
That's a little New Orleans.
I think it's a little out of tune, but I
I
can,
know. Sorry.
I can make it work.
Sorry. Being very Canadian.
Cause when you're in love, it's all you'll dream of. Moments of smiles and laughter ever after, yeah. A love that goes too deep, air that you can't breathe. Just use your eyes, it's no surprise, we found our paradise. Something like that.
Oh my gosh!
I'm putting the guitar away.
We have acoustic performances in here all the time. You didn't even.
Yeah, but not bad ones.
No, but you were so talented, and I'm so appreciative. I'm a little clump. I didn't think you were going to sing. That was really shocking.
I wasn't going to either.
That was fantastic. And this is what I didn't know about you, that you are, because we just had the Olympics, and you are a skier. Like, you are a freestyle skier. And when I hear freestyle, I think flipping in the air.
Yeah, that's. I grew up kind of just doing that. I always said to myself, you know, if acting kind of hadn't taken off the way it has, I would have loved to go into the freestyle skiing circuit. Yeah.
Wow.
But I'm in talks with Red Bull about doing some stuff together, so I'm really excited about that.
So before I let you go, I read a great story about when you were 9 years old, you wanted to be an actor, and you stole your mom's phone or something, and you called. Did you call?
Yeah, when I was 9 years old, my parents were always worried about, you know, kids getting into the Hollywood industry.
Because your parents are in the business.
Yeah, my mom used to be an actress, and I, you know, grew up loving movies, and they were worried about me getting involved because, you know, as we all know, kids can get really swayed by the Hollywood industry. But then one day, without telling my mom, I went through her contacts and I called her old agent when I was 9 years old, being like, I want a meeting, and she was
You're
like,
9.
She was
Imagine
like,
that little voice.
Yeah, seriously. She's like, who's this girl on the phone? And I was like, you know what? And she was like, you know, if this guy has enough balls to give me a call at 9 years old, I think it's worth a meeting. And to her credit, I really appreciate that. And
so how'd you get to the meeting? Did you drive?
I told my mom eventually. I needed her way there, and I give her all the credit in the world because she drove me not only to that one, but to every audition since. So, I mean, until I could drive.
So if I could give you the number of anybody, who would you call and want to like meet with for like either a director, or who would be your sort of ultimate?
Yeah, Scorsese is, and you know, Peter Berg, who I love, but I worked with, so him and I are already very close. So
check,
I can call
bucket
myself.
list.
Yeah.
Check, there you go.
But yeah, I love Martin Scorsese, and I met Steve McQueen recently, who I think is a spectacular director. He directed 12 Years a Slave. I've just been really happy with the way, you know, my career's been going right now, and I just look forward to working with, you know, I always try to surround myself with people who are better than me, whether, you know, directors, actors, everything, because I think you can learn so much. And I think if you're ever the best person on a set, you need to get out, because, you know, you're not going to learn anything there.
Then you shouldn't hang out with David Spade anymore.
Just
kidding. Love you, David. Love you.
We love you, David.
And that brings it full circle, I think. Yeah. We're going to go out with a love you, David Spade. Yeah, thank you for coming in. Great to see you again.
Thank you so much. So good seeing you.
Thank you for that serenade.
Oh, yeah, of
Made
course.
my day.
Yeah, no problem.